my name is Kate. I'm a poet and a writer, and on this channel I like to do reactions to K-pop videos, specifically lyric reactions and breakdowns. And today it is time to get into Shadow from BTS's Map of the Soul series. This is Suga's solo, so you know it's gonna be good because it's a rap line song. And as a rule in K-pop, rap has the best lines. Of course, many things have already been said about Shadow. DKDKTV has a phenomenal video breaking everything down. I'm just going to be looking at the actual lyrics, not going into like what the Map of the Soul is about that much or anything like that. And I've already done Persona, so it's time to get into Shadow. I love this song. This was my first favorite Suga solo. This was the first time, because I wasn't as into rap initially, and he has very like more of a classic style of rap, whereas I kind of liked RM's style of that like really hard hitting, very lyric forward style. I wasn't as into Suga's style when I first started getting into BTS, and then this song was when it was like, I understand the style more now, and I understand his genius, and I like it, and now I'm on board for literally anything the man ever touches. I love all of his songs so much. All of his solo work. Suga's an incredible rapper. So let's go ahead and get into Shadow. Suga sets up right from the start kind of a grocery list of things that he wants, and it'll be repeated again and again. It's probably the most recognizable part of the song, but like these were his dreams. I wondered how far I'd go. Like, you didn't come into this industry to be an idol. You want to be a producer. Came to my senses and find myself here. Like, it was almost a whirlwind. Like, he almost didn't have a choice. He wanted to be in a hip-hop group and he ended up as an idol. Like, this was never what he dreamed of for himself, basically. And then shadows at my feet. And again, the idea of like the shadow, the things you want to hide, but also lights shining down, creating shadows at your feet. And he's saying when he looks down, it's gotten even bigger. There's more things he wants to hide now. I run, but the shadow follows. An interesting image, running and your shadow following along behind you, but also of not being able to run from yourself, not being able to run from the parts of yourself that you want to hide. Like they're still part of you, they're still attached. As dark as the light is intense, the shadows are in equal darkness to match the brightness of the lights shining on him. I'm afraid. Flying high is terrifying. Being at the top is no joke, it's terrifying. He's just straight up saying, it's scary up here. And no one told me how lonely it is up here. That like once you start setting records, there's nobody who can commiserate about them. Like you get to a certain pedestal and there's nobody else to talk to about what it's like. I can leap in the air, but also plunge. I could fall just as hard as I can climb, or I can leap, or I can, anywhere I can go, I can also fall to my death. I know running away could be an option too. And then he says to pause. Suga is someone who has talked about his depression and anxiety pretty openly. People say there's splendor in that bright light, Like, this is what people dream of. But my growing shadow swallows me and becomes a monster. The things I want to hide are overwhelming. It's so much that I can't even deal with it. It's swallowing me. It's become a monster. It's become mental health issues. Up high, high, higher, higher. I go higher and the vertigo overtakes me. Like, it's so scary. And I'm so dizzy. And I can't see the ground anymore. Like, everything is too much. Like, I have vertigo. I feel like I'm going to fall. Like, everything is so terrifying. I can't enjoy being up this high, but I only go higher. Like, there's no going down. There's no plunging to your death. Like, there's only higher, and it's worse and worse. I rise. I hate it. I think this is probably one of the rawest songs on a BTS album in a lot of ways, because he's really openly talking about the actual fear, and he's naming it as fear, and he's saying, I hate this. That's why it's on the same album as UGG. UGG is almost a response to people responding to this, being like, you shouldn't. Like, this is the thing people dream about. Like, you being scared, you're talking about having mental health issues. Like, he's very openly, honestly, like, this is what he wants to hide. This is his shadow, is this song. That's why it goes over the shadow. But like, this actual genuine fear, the moment I'm flying as high as I wished, my shadow grows in that blasted stark light. When everyone's looking at me, watching me, the things I want to hide are so big. It's so much. So my mental health is crazy. The depression and anxiety are awful. And he's saying, please don't let me shine. Don't let me down. Don't let me fly. I'm afraid. And there's a lot to be afraid of. And he's talked about, you know, hiding in the bathroom because he was too scared to go out and talk to people. Like, he's a true introvert among BTS, who has some like extroverted introverts and some introverted extroverts. Like, he's a true introvert. Like, he didn't come here looking for this fame. The fame found him when he found Big Hit. To say, like, so openly, like, don't let me shine. Like, I don't want all of this. I don't want to fly, but don't let me down. Like, I don't want to fall either. And it's a kind of very complex, raw emotion. It happens that when I'm flying the highest, and the moment when I face myself brought lowest, the moment when I'm most depressed, comes when I'm flying the highest. When things are good for the group, his anxiety is acting up. He's saying it's the worst for him personally. It's the worst for his mental health. We get into the shadow actually speaking, the shadow talking now for the first time. He says, I'm you, you're me. Like, do you get it? Like, all these things you want to hide, we're one and the same, bro. Like, sometimes we're gonna clash. Sometimes you're not gonna want to show those things. Sometimes you're gonna want to, you know, put on a stage persona. You're gonna hide from all of it, but we're still one body. We're still in this together. You can never break me off. You're never going to escape from this shadow at your feet. You're never going to get away from it. But you'll be at ease too if you admit it. If you're not ashamed. If you just talk about it. If you just admit, as he has in this song, oops, come clean. Been like, this is fucking terrifying actually. Like, this is not what I wanted. This is scary to me. This is really, really scary. And my mental health is not good all the time. And sometimes it gets really bad because of how high up we've gone. It's Shadow saying, now that you said that, now that it's out there, you'll be at ease too. Because yeah, succeed or fail, whichever way you flow. And he changed up his flow for this part. Fantastic. You can't escape. And Shadow disappears into the phone cameras. I think it's so good. I think really honestly like one of the most raw lyrics. Very simple, not horribly complicated. A lot of English for it being sung by Suga, whose English isn't like one of the strongest on the team. Like you expect that kind of thing in RM's raps. You don't always expect it from Suga. And yet there's also the idea of like there are certain things that are easier to say in other languages, and there's audiences you reach differently by using different languages, and admitting something sometimes is a lot easier when you're saying it to one audience and not another almost. It's a lot easier when you're almost separating yourself from it through a language barrier. And I think he utilizes all of that kind of stuff really, really well. And I really like Shadow. I think it's fantastic. I think Suga's a great rapper, and I think this series was just so powerful, because if you stop and think, you can really get deep in your thoughts about this. I mean, they took a philosophical theory and decided to turn it into an album. Like, there's a lot to think about for a Map of the Soul, and Shadow is no exception at all. So what do you think? What are your favorite BTS songs? I post videos on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Ego is coming up next, so we get into J-Hope's solo. I'm super excited about that. I love J-Hope so much, and I hope you do too. I hope you will stick around and like and subscribe if you like this kind of content. Leave a comment down below what you think about Shadow and the BTS Map of the Soul series, and what other songs you'd like me to do, and I will be sure to get to those as well. And I'll talk to you again very soon. Bye!